What's going on, guys? Well, I spun around. Welcome back to Prominence 2. And today I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what I've done in between this episode, well, this episode and last episode. That is, I made this extra room, which is just next door to our brewery. And I've started to put a bunch of crate machines. So we've got a machine for making the plates. So we're currently making a whole bunch of copper sheets at the moment. And then we've got a section for doing the washing, so water blasting any items. A section for blasting, so we're smelting all of our ores into blocks. And some of them, like when you put the zinc into block form, the raw block form, it just deletes it instead of smelting it. So if you are doing it, you need to sort of test it and make sure which ones can be smelted as block and which ones can't. So I think I've figured out that most of the standard Minecraft ones, so iron, gold, copper, if they're the actual Minecraft raw blocks, they're fine to be smelted as blocks. But if they're the modded ones, they are hit and miss whether or not. And then we've got another section for any crushing needs that we may need. So I moved all of our setup over here. We're obviously not producing iron automatically here, which is something that I need to set up, but we are producing iron automatically over in this section over here. So in our little setup over there, we're producing iron nuggets automatically, so it's not too bad, and we've got quite a decent supply of iron at the moment, so I'm not overly fussed. But today I want to get into the power mod, and the reason I want to get into the power mod is because we're going to need a constant and stable source of energy to power the digital storage once we get into it. So the one that I want to go for is probably going to be the thermo generator. Does it not tell you heat sources? Okay, so yeah, so this actually uses I don't know if this is just it needs it to be on lava or if you need to feed it lava, but I'm fairly sure. Oh no, the thermo one, you just need it to be next to the heat source. What is this? Block of blazing crystal. I guess that is one way of doing it, but what's the, like, we can get up to the blazing one, so generates 10 FE per tick, which honestly isn't a lot. But if we go to the blazing magmator, it's 40 FE per tick. But the magmator actually chews up lava as a source for powering it. So we need an infinite source of lava, which is what I want to get into today. Well, hopefully try to get into. Whether or not this works or not is a hit and miss. And if it doesn't work, I probably won't even bother showing this episode. This is going to be all trial and error for me. But there is a way that if you get the create pump. So create, is it pump? It's not the heat pump, it's not the mechanical pump. We do need the mechanical pump, but it's not the thing I'm looking for. It's like the hose pulley that I'm looking for. Hose, this thing. So this is what we want to make. Can we do this? What are we missing? Copper casing. We need a copper ingot on a strip plug. Great, awesome. Copper. And have we got any logs in here? Awesome. There, that. Grab the copper. And go. The copper rage. And do that. So what are we missing? Dried kelp block, we can make one of them. And copper sheet, I'm actually making some of them now. Awesome, so now we've got the hose pulley. So this is basically, if you put the hose pulley into a lava source that's got more than 10,000 lava blocks in it, but what I've read is that it doesn't register flowing lava as not being a source block of lava. So if we have a 10 by 10 hole going down 100 blocks, and only the top 100 blocks is lava sources and it all flows down, it should register it as a infinite source of lava. So what I'm going to do is dig a really big hole, get 100 buckets of lava. Is there like a standard sort of tank thing that I can make to go collect some lava? So 4, 8, 16, 64, 32. I think the titanium tank. How do we get titanium sheets? Have we got any titanium? If we could just make a couple of titanium tanks, it would be a lot easier when we go to the sort of lava fill-in stage. Where are you? Let's go to our ingots. Zinc. We've got 2 titanium, which is not a lot. Got any in here? Tin, zinc, steel. How do you make titanium? Is it tungsten? Nope. So how do we get titanium is the next question. Okay. Oh my god, just show me how to get raw titanium. Where? Not generated, but can be obtained with the quarry. Okay, so the titanium that we have got so far is obviously from something else. We can make stainless steel ones and just get like 4 of them and fill them up. Like stainless steel, I don't think's too difficult to get. Or is it? It may be too difficult by the looks of it. Why is it? Oh my god. It's still dust. Yep, so maybe not that. We can go aluminium. So we need what? 1, 2. We need like. How many tanks is that? 2, 4, 6. Like 7. I think 7 of them tanks. Which is fine. I think aluminium we've got. Yeah, so if we just go and grab, say, a whole bunch of this and start the plates being made, and then what I'm going to do is dig out that hole. So I'm going to sort of dig down. Let's first of all go and throw these into here so it continues to crafting them. Okay. And then we're going to want the actual infinite lava source to be somewhere back over here. And we go like so. Repeat. And then we want to go down to 80, which is the level of... Ow. Ow. Go away. Go away. Oh my god. Go away. Okay, looks. Oh, screw you. Stop hitting me. Okay, let me dig this hole. It's going to be a bit of a nuisance dealing with all of these mobs in the time being. But yeah, I'll bring you back after I've dug the hole and ready to actually put the lava in, because I'm going to have to make them tanks and whatnot as well. So yeah, catch you back in a sec. Alright guys, so I'm dug out that area down really far, ran into volcanic freaking caverns and all sorts of badness, but I also made a basic tank which is considerably cheaper. Well, it's not cheaper and it's not easier to craft, but it's just got more crafting steps in order to do it, but it is pretty cheap to do it, and you can carry 128. If you are going to be using this for transporting stuff, you cannot pick it up with a pick because it will delete its contents, but you can use the carry-on mod to carry the tank around. So you won't be able to carry it from like using the teleporters, because I don't think it will go with you if you're carrying it. So you just have to sort of gather whatever it is you need to gather within the same sort of dimension. With actually, I think you could probably go through nether portals, but I don't think you could use the teleporters, the waystones. So we've got our hole just down here, and I filled out the area, so we've got a flat ground in order to put the lava on. It's going to be a little bit tricky, so what we are going to want to do is put you up there, and then we're going to want to dig, say, just... Oh, probably don't want to do that. Have we got any ladders on us? We do. I am fully prepared. You're wondering why I'm using ladders? It's because I'm going to have to swap out my backpack, so I've got the fire resist one on, and let's go take you off, put you on. That's not what I wanted to do, was it? You go there. I'm going to want to break you, and now we need to fill this level with lava and then break all of the blocks below it. So yeah, this is going to be fun because it's always difficult to see exactly where you've already placed lava. Oh my god. I've got them moving around in lava is a nightmare as well. So yeah, after I filled this out and I've sort of broke this and we're ready to test to see if it does create the infinite lava, which I'm hoping it does, I'll bring you back. Alright, so now is the moment of truth. So we're going to see if this has in fact created an infinite source of lava for us or not. Put the hose pulley, probably want it one more higher. Do that. And then we want to get our hand crank this way. Why is it not rotating it? Does it have to be on the other side? Yeah, it does. That's me being an idiot. Never mind. This way. So we just need to take this all the way to the bottom, and it should tell us by hovering over it, I think, whether or not it's going to be an infinite source or not. I'm hopefully given like the lava enough time to actually reach the bottom, but I'm not 100% sure as of yet. Just fingers crossed that this does actually work. Alright, so we finally reached the bottom, and it says, oh my god, that was loud. It says we've got 113.86, I think TB is trillion buckets, so I think it does consider it a infinite lava source. But there's one way to find out. Let's make a tank, say just here. Do one of these. And then we're going to want one of you, one of you, and then one of you. And then we want to get some of this power over to here, but facing this way. Trying to figure this out. I'm just going to have to use some gearboxes in order to rotate the actual part of the rotational force. Not vertical, so like no normal. I've got normal gearboxes. Then we want to go and grab our rotational force from over there. So let's do one of these. And then we want to do one of these. And then a couple of cogwheels. Yay, tapping the mantle. So yeah, so our lava, oh my god, our lava source is not getting dried up because it's still saying 113.86. My god, that's so loud. Let me sleep the night away. So We're not having to deal with that freaking noise anymore. So we are now getting a infinite source of lava up to our base place. So we can now tap into this as and when we want to. Let me remove the hand crank. We don't need that there anymore. And I need to make sure I tell Cloud not to jump down that hole. Or I guess I don't have to, but we can see what happens. So we want to now go and craft up a whole bunch of the POWAH mod stuff and things. But in order to do that, I need a whole ton of charcoal. So I don't really know how best to do that, because we need like a ridiculous amount of wood to do that. And I know we've got some wood, but we've not got like an obscene amount. Quite a bit of spruce. I think the easiest way to do would be just go chop down some redwood trees, but my pockets, as you can see, are obnoxiously full at the moment. So let me sort out my pockets just a little bit, because I've got a couple of these bags that's filled. Once I've sorted out my pockets, I'll go chop down some redwood trees, get some charcoal, and once I'm ready to start crafting up some of the POWAH stuff, then I'll bring you back. Alright, so I think I've got most of the stuff. So we've got blaze rods, we've got clay balls, we've got charcoal. So there's a lot of weird stuff. Like in the POWAH mod, I was looking up to see if there's a way of crafting like the ender gates. There isn't, or the energy cables, and there isn't. Apparently the mod authors took the energy cables out because they was causing like unintended lag. So we're having to use like cables from other mods, which I need to look into. But to start ourselves off with, we are going to create just some of the core base stuff, but we need a bunch of iron bars. So pretty sure we've got some dotted about here and there. It's getting in there, 4 up there. We can always craft iron bars. We've got loads of iron somewhere here. That. Let's just craft up a couple of these. Thank you. And then we're going to want some blaze powder. So we want to make a whole bunch of this dielectric paste. This is going to craft like a lot more than what I think we're going to need. Let's just get some chests to store the stuff as we're crafting. Yeah, so we just do that. That will be like 16 stacks worth. Don't need that much, so we can put you away, put you away, and put you away. The charcoal can go away. We just want some of this paste stuff. Then we're also going to want some glass. Not black stained. Come on, where's just normal glass? You're tinted. Here's some glass. Thank you. So we're going to want some of these diagonal bits. Say a couple of stacks of these. And then a couple of stacks of these. Which means we're going to need more iron bars. And that's them. Awesome. And then we're going to want to make... can we just go straight to basic? So we're going to need... Oh, so we have to make some start ones. Which means we're going to need some of these, which means we need redstone blocks. Here. Just make a whole bunch of these. And then downcraft some of these into the tiny ones. And we're going to make 4 of these. 3, 4. And make one of you. We got some buckets. 3. So we now got 4 of the starter ones. We want to get them up to basic. Which means we're going to need 4 more of them. Where are they? We can only craft 2 because we're missing iron. That's 2, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to want basic. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we've got 4 basic ones, and we want to get them probably up to, not the hardened, but up to the blazing, and then it will generate 40 FE per tick with 4 of them. So it will be 160 FE per tick, which should be like the bare minimum to get a decent AE system sort of running. But in order to do that, we need to upgrade the components, which means we need to make an energizing orb. So we need another one of these guys, and we need to make one of these. So you, and then we're going to need 4 of these basic rods. So another 4 more of these guys. 2, 3, 4. Oh god, pockets. And then some quartz. What do I do with all of my quartz? I put it in here, didn't I? There we go. I knew I had it somewhere. So 4 of these. Oh my god, pockets issues. Do that. Let's just do that for the time being. So we've got 4 of them. 4 of them. And we want to get these up to the basic, don't we? So great, so we need another 4 of these. 2, 3, 4. And then basic 1. Basic 2. Basic 3. Is that all of them? 4. Basic starter. Yeah, I think that's all of them. Yeah, so we need to get these set up in order to then start changing the resources to the upgraded ones. Oh my god, where am I going? Stop climbing freaking walls. So we want to go over to where our lava is. I also don't know if we have to use create to pump this out, or if we can use other stuff to interact with these fluid tanks. But nevertheless, one way or the other, we should just be able to set this up here. So we want 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we can have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we just need to feed these lava, and then we need our energizer orb. There, you can just go on the wall there, or a little strippy with shaders on. And then we need fluid pipes. Fluid pipes. Can we go with just the Industrial Revolution one with just iron? Craft up some of them. So it does connect. 3, 4. I know that we're going to need some sort of wrench or something. What are we? Industrial Revolution. Okay, so these. Is this the one with the the servos? So we should actually have some of them on us. Output servo. If we do that, there we go. So you can use these pipes with the create tanks, and then that's going to fill them up, and then these should start producing very small amounts, so it's only generating 4 FE per tick, but it's actually going into these rod things at the time being. So from here we need to get some iron blocks. in order to then upgrade all this stuff into the hardened version. So go back over to our power, and we want to go to hardened, which is this one. So we need 5 per, which is what, 10, 15, 20, 24, 28 for these guys, so that's 28. And then for the odds is another, so 28, 30, it's like 32, which isn't terrible, considering it's just like a constant passive like power gem, because we've got infinite lava and it's sort of like a set it and forget it system. Let's just get 32 blocks. I don't know if it's going to be able to do all of this in one go, or if you have to do one block by one block. But that's something that we can figure out. Come down to here, and can we just throw... Oh, so it's one block by one block, I think. Maybe you can't do the block of iron. Hey, how do we get the hardened stuff? Oh, is it steel? Energized steel. So, iron and gold. Great, so we need gold. Yeah, we just had some in that smelter thing over there anyway. So if we do that, and then one of you. You should now be getting zapped. Why? Why are you not doing your thing? Or is it steel and gold? Oh, it's iron and gold. Can we not do it by block form? No, seriously, you have to do it in... Oh my god. This is going to take so freaking long. Yep, do that. Do that. Oh. Well, at least it does it quickly. Zoop. So I'm going to do this for around about the next 15 to 20 minutes. And then upgrade the stuff all the way up to blazing. So after I've upgraded it to the hardened, I can then upgrade it to the blazing. The blazing is the same thing, as in it's just blaze rods inside the energizer. Again, they've not got the upgraded crafting recipe, because usually you can turn this into like a block and then charge a block of it. So it's just going to be very tedious crafting, to be honest with you. So I'll catch you back after I've got all of this sort of done. Alright, so fast forward a ridiculous amount of time later. Been about 3 hours, and I'm sort of getting them all the way up to the spirited level, which is the emeralds. I did blow through a stack and a half of diamonds, so we don't actually have like... Actually, we do actually have a reasonable amount, which isn't terrible. But these ones now will be producing 400 FE per tick, which is... It should be more than enough if we have 4 of them. But the thing is, like, I've got these 4 that I actually want to keep here, because I want a section where I can actually just come and upgrade the stuff. So do that. Do that. Do one of these. And then do that. And then I need to start the whole process again, because I want to make another 4 of them, because I want to keep these 4 here. But these are now producing 400 per tick. They store 200,000. So yeah, we are actually getting a decent amount. And I'm fairly sure the applied energetic systems don't use even remotely as that. Like, it usually gives you a highlighter as to how much energy it uses. So that's the energy cell. It doesn't actually tell you. I know that when you set up the system it actually tells you, but yeah, so we've got a infinite lava source running. We have got the power mod sort of jumped into, ready to upgrade all of the stuff that we need upgrading. So what I'm going to do is probably wrap up the episode here. I'm going to be making another 4 of these for our applied energetic system, which hopefully we'll be working on in the next episode. And then what I want to do is run pipes from that lava container, the tank, create tank, underneath the ground, over to the mid section over here. Because this is where I want our sort of main hub. Because I then want to run the cables from underneath here up above the ceiling to go into each section depending on where we need stuff being automated. So what I'm going to be doing is looking for my axe, which I have not got on me, clearly. Frickin' things. Head on over to here. Let's first of all put all of this stuff away that we're not currently using. Grab our tools back. Nope, did not want to put you on. Oh, okay. I thought it crashed then. We've got our axe. So what I'm going to be doing is sort of clearing out a section underneath here. So underneath here, and then clearing out a room underneath. So that way we've got the option of running the cables underneath the ground. But then I'm going to have the power source that's going to be running the main sort of hub of it. Under each corner of where we're going to actually have our controller. Because we're going to want a few controllers, because you need more controllers in order to connect more cables to it, because each cable can only hold 32. Well, that's the dense cables anyways, but we can get into that in the next episode. But for this episode, I think that's going to be it before it goes on for too long. We're hitting just over half an hour mark already, and we've actually done quite a lot. Like, we've getting the infinite lava source up and running, that alone took about 4 or 5 hours to clear out the area and actually get the lava to then do all of this razzmatazz. Need to be very careful down there. I also need to make sure that Cloud doesn't go blocking in that lava, because I'm not sure if he'll know what's going on here, but nevertheless I'll make sure to let him know before he comes on next. But what I'm going to do, yeah, is create another 4 more of these, and then set up a room ready for the applied energetics underneath that center point. So that way we can jump straight into it next episode and hopefully get our digital storage up and running. Because once we've got that up and running, we could then start automating some stuff around the base. At the moment, although there is some stuff like we can say that we've automated the plates and the smelting of the ores and charcoal and whatnot, but because we've got no way of feeding it into that chest and out of this chest automatically, it's not really automatic. It's just a process that's been automated, just sort of like the plates or the sheets. I did realise you can't actually make the aluminium sheets in here. You have oh my god, words. You actually have to use the compressor, which is what I was having to use in order to make another barrel to store all of the cobblestone that I had gathered after clearing up the lava section. So we was having to use this machine down here. Right, scrap. You are in processors. We need some more silicon. Yeah. So we need to get into applied energetics next episode, but I'll make sure that I've got the power sort of all sorted and that room ready to start building within at the beginning of next episode. But nevertheless, hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode, and hopefully if you are playing this mod pack, you now know that you can get an infinite lava source without actually having to go to the nether, which is extremely good. Let's take off this helmet. Hope you enjoyed today's episode, and hopefully I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.